other on the African Continental Free Trade Area, but also use the opportunities of the blue economy and what it can provide for our respective economies.
Speaking at the event, the chairman of GOIL, Kwame Osei-Prempeh, stated that the naming of the vessel further solidified relations between AmSol-Ghana and GOIL, as the bunker tanker will improve GOIL's operations.
And the assurance from AmSol, we went into Ocean Crane, and let me say that that relationship has been a very fruitful one. We call it South-South collaboration. The South African partners, AmSol, South Africa, and their Ghanaian partner, AmSol-Ghana, have been very, very supportive of GOIL. The vessel coming back, and it has not come back as MV Clemson, it's come back as MV Davis, which means it's our own.
The CEO of AmSol-Ghana, Kojo Kwenu, appealed to government to reduce taxes on bunkering to boost the industry. Majority of the vessel's crew members are Ghanaians.
We have a shipyard which is one of the largest on the continent. Most people do not know, but it is underutilized because of tariffs. And I wouldn't want to appeal to Mrs. Sandra Opoku, but GRA, though Mrs. Opoku could also help with certain port charges. So I wouldn't take her out completely, but in the scheme of what we need, she can contribute about 20% of the appeal that we are making to government.
The Chief Executive Officer and the Executive Chairman of Ghana Link Network Services Limited, Dr. Nick Dansue, has been honored with the prestigious title of Ghana's Entrepreneur of the Year. This marks the sixth time Dr. Dansue has won this esteemed accolade, affirming his status as one of Ghana's leading entrepreneurs. Under his leadership, Ghana Link Network Services Limited has revolutionized trade facilitation in the region, and with the implementation of the Integrated Customs Management System, ICOMS. The system has been pivotal in enhancing operational efficiencies at Ghana's ports and borders, which in turn has significantly increased government revenue and improved the ease of doing business. The company itself also garnered the Trade Facilitation Company of the Year award, recognizing its robust implementation of the ICOMS and its impact on the trade ecosystem. Reflecting on the awards, Dr. Dansue said the award fuels Ghana Link's commitment to continue improving its services.
At least when we don't find product across Ghana. For this next time
Dr. Dansue, addressing young entrepreneurs and the youth of Ghana, emphasized the importance of focus and diligence in achieving one's goals.
Almost up to computer, computer program, more money serious now. I'm school come here, and I'm to be more so that's it. Expect them when I'm here to buy brilliant. So I'm to be my brilliant. So I said, Ghana, yeah, Kababy, I was a car. Champagne and Grand said, baby, your moves is in not maybe time, no way better than me. It is a mere care what they can become bigger than me. Yeah, yes, Ghana.
His repeated recognition as Entrepreneur of the Year is a compelling reminder of the impact steadfast leadership and innovation can have on a business and community.
The third Made in Ghana Bazaar, a 3-day flagship program of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and regional integration has taken place in Accra. The bazaar was held under the theme Promoting Made in Ghana Goods and Services for Economic Prosperity. During the opening ceremony, the Minister for Trade and Industry, K.T. Hammond, commended the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration for the event, which is aimed at promoting made in Ghana goods and services on the international market. The Trade Minister further encouraged the public to patronize made in Ghana goods and services, which play a crucial role in the development of the local economy, as well as preserving the productive sectors of the country for future generations.
In our determined effort to take advantage of the after-Ghana trade initiative, the government has facilitated exploratory market expedition missions to Kenya, including 63 companies, and to Tanzania, involving about 52 companies. Now, this has led to a total of about 700 products receiving what they call rules of origin certification to trade under AFTA.
The Deputy Minister for Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration, Mavis Nkansa Boydu, in her address, stated that the goal of the bazaar is to facilitate the penetration of Ghanaian products and services into foreign markets through the network of Ghana's missions abroad and diplomatic missions accredited to Ghana. She added that it will invariably support the growth of small and medium-sized enterprises by providing them with the needed impetus to expand into the international market, including the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. Officials of state maritime institutions such as Ghana Port and Harbours Authority and Ghana Shippers Authority were present to guide visitors on the key offerings of their institutions.
The Ghana chapter of Professional Women in Maritime and Port Sectors for West and Central Africa, ahead of the International Day for Women in Maritime, met with aspiring female professionals to encourage them to follow their dreams. The Professional Association last Friday organized a mentorship session with senior high students from the Tema Senior High and Technical School to guide them towards their career goals and ambitions. The program was also an opportunity to demystify the maritime industry to students, where selected professionals in the technical fields of the industry spoke extensively about their jobs. According to the president of the network, Abna Sewa Opokufosu, the objectives of Network of Professional Women in Maritime and Port Sectors of West and Central Africa is to establish resource groups for friendship, cooperation, knowledge sharing and mentoring, as well as personal development.
The International Maritime Organization champions gender equality. The Women in Maritime program focuses on 3 pillars: training, visibility, and recognition. One of the core objectives of the Network of Professional Women in Maritime and Port Sectors of West Africa is to create resource groups for mentorship and personal growth through cooperation, friendship, exchange of knowledge, and the dissemination of information. And we encourage girls to pursue their passion, break stereotypes, and explore maritime careers.
The Director of Education for the Tema Metropolis, Benis Ofori, in her remarks, urged females to honor the progress made in advancing gender equality in maritime vocations by reaffirming their commitment to supporting women in the maritime industry and advocating for policies and procedures that advance gender equality.
Today we celebrate the progress that has been made in advancing gender equality in maritime careers. More women than ever are pursuing education and training in maritime fields. On this day, let's all renew our commitment to empowering women in maritime industry.
As part of the intended impact of the program, 10 female students have been selected to undergo tailored mentorship with selected professionals ahead of their tertiary education.
Okay, so last week was International Day
for women in maritime, and this data was set aside by the International Maritime Organization to really appreciate the contribution of women to the maritime industry. And the Port Authority has put together a documentary to appreciate or to let us know what roles some women are playing in the maritime industry. Let's take a listen.
The world's oceans, vast and majestic, have long been the lifeblood of global trade and transportation. But behind this expanse lies a critical need for safety and security, particularly for women who play pivotal roles in maritime operations. For centuries, women have been making significant contributions to the maritime industry, even though it continues to be a male-dominated profession. According to the latest International Maritime Organization statistics, women represent only about 2% of the world's 1.2 million seafarers, a figure that highlights the need for continued efforts to encourage female participation. The International Maritime Organization Assembly in 2021 adopted a resolution proclaiming the 18th of May each year as International Day for Women in Maritime. This year's celebration focuses on the theme, Safe Horizons, Women Shaping the Future of Maritime Safety.
The Ghana chapter of the Network of Professional Women in Maritime Imports for West and Central Africa, in celebrating the theme, Safe Horizons, Women Shaping the Future of Maritime Safety, have decided to throw the light on 5 different women whose varying roles are ensuring that we are enhancing further the safety measures that have been implemented to run our ports.
While their roles may vary, their impact on maritime safety is felt far and wide. Perpetual Osei-Bonso is the Executive Secretary of the Ship Owners and Agents Association of Ghana, SWAG, since 2002. As part of her roles at SWAG, Perpetual has participated in several stakeholder consultations, demonstrating a passion for maritime safety and container shipping operations in Ghana.
Under IMO, there are international organizations that are, championing safety of the seas and that kind of, environment. Both the environment, making sure that we have what we call the MAPO rules, and Ghana Maritime Authority, more or less, is the safeguard. Every country has its maritime authority that ensures that these laws are being complied to. It's even in the interest of the line, because you have cargo on it, you have human beings, your crew must also be safe. So it's a concerted effort.
Priscilla Adonyo is a reliable port control officer. She narrates how she has employed her talents and competences towards one of the key activities at the port of Tema.
In Tema Port, safety is our hallmark. We work together from the port control station to the pilotage, to the towage, to the mooring gang, to ensure that all vessels are berthed and unmoored safely. Our first point of communication with the vessel is through the VHF. So when the vessel is about 2 miles to our boarding station or to our anchorage, which is 12 nautical miles from the baseline of the Tema port, the vessel will call, and the vessel will inform us that she is about entering into our waters. We have compulsory pilotage in Tema. So every vessel that is coming in Tema needs to be brought in by a pilot. And to do that, we have a communication system and a policy that the vessel first calls the port control station. After the port control station ascertains that the vessel is cleared financially, and it's the vessel that has been booked for that particular berth, we inform the pilot, and we inform the tag masters, we inform the mooring gang, and then the pilot launch to stand by for the movement. When the vessel is proceeding, we monitor her on the AIS and the EGDAS that we have to ensure she does not drift into shallow waters. And also, we ensure she is navigating within a certain speed that is safe for the pilot to embark.
Francesca Ishen is the Principal Security Officer at the Port of Tema.
The requirements of the ISPS code is strictly enforced by the ports. That's all people who have legitimate business in the ports should be carded with photo ID card. So if you don't have the pass, then we know that you are not supposed to enter the port. Safety in the ports begins with the pass and vetting office, and with the pass issuing office, all port users are safe, including their goods.
Meet Rachel Ansong, whose journey in the logistics industry started in 2007. As Managing Director of Richans Logistics, she has led a dedicated team in delivering tailored logistics solutions that exceed expectation. With years of experience in the industry, she brings her expertise in strategic planning, resource optimization, and customer relationship management to every project her team undertakes.
In our industry, we've had several training on these dangerous cargoes, and as a company, because we know that majority of our cargoes are hovering around these particular chemicals, we train our staff. The industry itself is embracing the safety measures already, and so especially so now we have the low sulfur vessels that are autonomous. We have all kinds of things, the green sustainability, measures all over the place, and so all these things are measures that are being embraced by the industry to enhance the operations. I will encourage women to be part of this industry, because it's an industry that it will never die, because each and every day we are moving something from one place to another. Okay, and once you are able to deliver well as promised, it's quite rewarding here, especially when you see it as a passion.
Meet Benis Feidu, who has been a key actor in her organization's fire prevention and safety processes at the port. Her dedication to work has earned her the admiration of her peers and superiors.
The port is assigned onto ISO standard, and the fire and safety department ours has to do with the ISO 45001. That's the occupational health and safety. Since the organization is ISO certified, we don't do anything our own. Steps that we go through is governed by ISO standard and IMDG's regulation in handling of dangerous cargo. We have types of dangerous goods from class 1 to 9, and they have risk level. So when they submit this information advanced to us, it makes us to make ready for them in case of any spillage, any emergency. We know what you are responding to. We know the type of cargo we are going to handle. Apart from the dangerous goods and the conventional goods that we handle, some of the vessels when they come also, some request for bunkering, meaning they are taking fuel. Yes, some also take fresh water to balance the vessel, and some also do hot works in the ports. So we have firemen that will go on board to do this inspection.
Maritime safety may begin at sea, but the integrity of maritime safety is anchored ashore. On this International Day for Women in Maritime, let us celebrate the invaluable contributions of all the women who are making waves in the maritime industry, one administrative decision at a time. Through their hard work and determination, these women are shaping the future of the maritime industry and paving the way for generations to come.
So that was a beautiful piece put together by the Ghana Port and Harbours Authority to let us know the role that some women are playing in the maritime industry. Now we're going for our word of the day.
Acquiescence refers to when a bill of lading is accepted or signed by a shipper or shipper's agent without protest. The shipper is said to acquiesce to the terms, given a silent form of consent.
All right, so on 6th of May this year, the Ghana Export Promotion Authority launched the non-traditional exports report to engage its stakeholders and all that. Tonight, we are delving deeper into this report to know what the report entails and also how it's going to boost the exports, non-traditional exports of the country. And I have the pleasure to introduce two guests from the Ghana Export Promotion Authority. The first is Dr. Martin Agokti. He's the head of research at GPHA. Hello, Doc. Good evening.
Solomon, good to be on set this evening.
All right.
Looking forward to.
All right, we are grateful you came.
Yeah, thank you.
So I also have Chris Amponsasaki. He is the public relations officer or manager, I should say, at the Ghana Export Promotion Authority. Hello, Chris.
Hi, Solomon.
I'm sure this is your first time here.
Yeah, this is my first time being here.
Okay, that's fine. And so, gentlemen, good evening, and once again, and then I welcome all of you. First and foremost, let's look at the non-traditional exports report, or statistics report, I should say. What does it entail?
Okay, thank you very much, and good evening to your cherished viewers. We are happy to be here. Maybe by way of introduction, Ghana Export Promotion Authority is a national trade support institution under the Ministry of Trade and Industry. We are responsible for trade. We develop, facilitate, and promote non-traditional exports, and that is important for us, for our listeners to understand. Now, maybe let me be quick to clarify what non-traditional exports are.
Very well.
Within our nomenclature as a country, we have what we call the traditional exports and the non-traditional exports. Now, the traditional exports has to do with cocoa beans, has to do with unprocessed minerals, has to do with log and lumber, has to do with oil, electricity. Now, anything outside of what I've just mentioned is classified as non-traditional exports. So, as an institution, our mandate basically looks at developing these products. There are quite a large number of products classified as non-traditional exports. So we are looking at both products and services. Now, sometimes we even go to the extent of saying that anytime there's value addition or value added, then it's easy for you to classify it as a non-traditional export. This is not to say that all non-traditional exports are value added. So basically, as an institution, that is our mandate. We're established by an Act of Parliament, Act 396. And we are about 50 years. We established 1969, so that's a long time ago. So basically, this is what we do at GPHA, and that is what non-traditional exports is all about.
So as an institution, what are some of your strategic or functional, operational areas?
Very well, that's a very good question. So within our mandate, we operate within a certain functional, strategic, operational areas. So per our mandate, so number one, we look at what we call product development and supply-based expansion. Now, what it means is that, as an institution, we identify potentials. Products that has export potentials. Now, and we collaborate with certain institutions whose mandate relates to these products, and jointly or together we develop these products to meet international requirements. So that is basis. So product development and supply-based expansion. Supply-based in the sense that we see that there are products, there is demand for it from buyers within the export ecosystem. However, if there is a demand for it, the order you might not be able to deliver the numbers to meet the quantities. So what we do is that as an institution, we have intervention that are targeted at some of these products scientifically based on demand by the international community or buyers. So, for instance, we've had to go into what we call coconut revitalization program. We've had to go into the pineapple expansion program. We've had to go into cashew. And all this, what we did is to supply the raw materials so that the art growers, farmer-based organization, our cherished farmers can grow, produce, and in terms of so that we have more as far as harvest or the products are concerned, so that the exporters can easily buy these products and onwardly export out there. So number two, next important role strategic area of operation has to do with market access. Now, as anything exports to the layperson, export has to do with goods and services leaving the shores of the country. Now, so market access here as an institution, what we do is that we provide the platform for our cherished exporters and stakeholders within the space to be able to showcase made in Ghana products and services out there. Now, there are many platforms out there. You can talk of international trade fairs, international shows, expos, B2B, solo exhibition. The list is endless. Now, so what GPHA does is that we provide them the support, either by maybe linking them or taking them. Actually, we've gone to the extent of even having to foot part of their bills to be able to participate in some of these platforms. And the essence is that you showcase your products out there so that buyers can look at it and say, okay, this product is nice. We'd like to make an order for it. So that's one. Two. Number three, which is also critical, has to do with capacity building. And capacity building, we have what we call the Ghana Export School, which is a big flagship school under Ghana Export Promotion Authority. The mandate has to do with building capacity of the exporters. Now, we know that when it comes to export business, it's not just like selling on the local market.
There are standards.
The standards are quite stringent. The requirements are quite high. The expectations are high. Now, what is expected is that we need to empower our exporters, upgrade their skills, their knowledge, to be able to meet in terms of looking at the entire value chain of a product, for instance. We build their capacity, looking at in terms of product development, in terms of marketing, in terms of even negotiation, in terms of export documentation, and all that relates to you being able to get that product out there for the international buyer to look at. So the Ghana Export School has been in existence, and we've been running both in-person and virtual courses, building capacity of all these actors within the space. Another very important thing of which I directly play a role has to do with market intelligence sharing or market information. Now, you will notice that, as a matter of fact, the products don't stay in Ghana. They go out there. They go to the various market destinations across the globe. You need to understand what are the consumer preferences. You need to understand what is trending. You need to understand what are the market alerts. You need to give people in terms of how is the demographics like. What is the taste of the people. Now, it's our responsibility as an authority to go out there, fish and dig and search and research, get current information relevant to our exporters, relevant to all players within the export space, so that they are well equipped and well prepared to go out there and do business. And again, of course, we coordinate things that have to do with export activities, and I'm sure my colleague Chris will talk about the National Export Development Strategy, which we have coordinated since its launch a couple of years ago.
Okay, so I'll be coming back to you, but let me move to Sir Chris and find out from you. I mean, Doc has given us what you do broadly, GPHA. Do you have presence across the country to be able to effectively, undertake this mandate?
Yes, we do, Solomon. We have presence in most parts of the country. I in the Volta region, and the Volta region office takes care of the OT region as well. So we call it a zonal office. We also have an office in the Ashanti region.
Can you come closer to your microphone?
We also have an office in Ashanti region that takes care of the Bono and then the Ahafo regions as well. And then we have an office in Tamale that takes care of Savannah, region as well. And we also have an office in Boga that takes care of Wa as well. We have an office in Takrady that takes care of the Western North as well. We have an office in the Central region as well. So we have presence in Accra, which is the head office.
Yeah.
And so if you put all these together, I think we have about 8, offices across the length and breadth of this country that seeks to provide information and support to our cherished exporters. But let me quickly add something to what my colleague Doc said.
Yeah.
When it comes to trade information dissemination and making sure that our cherished exporters always get the right information and at the time they need it, we at Ghana Export Promotion Authority have provided a physical space in our building called the GPHA Impact Hub. This GPHA Impact Hub we are talking about is a state-of-the-art facility that is technology-driven, and we have machines over there that have databases on them, that as an exporter or one who wishes to export, you could come in there and do your research on the product that you want to export, to know which countries you can even take these products to and all that.
So if I get you, mean GPHA has provided a facility within its building. So exporters can walk in there anytime to undertake research
Exactly. And we have, the good thing is that we have officers there to even assist them. Now these databases we are talking about are databases that are quite expensive. So individuals are not able to purchase them because you have to keep renewing, them almost every year. And so people are not able to purchase them. But Ghana Export Promotion Authority, we have all these things there. These exporters can.
Is it at a fee?
No. And that's the good thing about it. We don't charge for it. And then we also have offices within that space where, as a business entity, if you don't have a physical space where you use as an office and you have clients that you want to hold a meeting with, you can also walk into Ghana Export Promotion Authority and come to have meetings with your clients in that space that have been provided as offices. And so there are a lot of things that is going on at that GPHA Impact Hub. And then I would like to use this opportunity to invite all our cherished exporters who have not yet taken advantage of that facility to come there and see what we have over there. And it is open to the general public. Those who want to know more about exports and all that, they can come there and get to see what we have there for them.
All right. So after the establishment of this particular facility that you're talking about, are exporters taking advantage? I mean, how would you gauge their interest in such a facility?
So in terms of interest, I would say that the patronage has not been that high. We expected that we would always have a lot of people passing through and all that. And I believe that the reason for the low patronage is probably because we have not advertised it well enough. And so we are still, almost every opportunity that we get to talk to exporters or every kind of function that we get the opportunity to speak at, we try to talk about the GPHA Impact Hub because it has been established for them. So if they don't take advantage of it, they are losing a lot. And so they just have to come and take advantage of it. And what is so exciting about this GPHA Impact Hub is that we have very key collaborating agencies that we work with. For example, the Food and Drugs Authority. We have the Ghana Standards Authority and the PPRSD, that is a Plant Protection and Regulatory Services Directorate under the Ministry of Food and Agriculture. We have given them desk within that space. And so when you come there to the GPHA Impact Hub and you want to speak to somebody from the Ghana Standards Authority, the Food and Drugs Authority, the PPRSD regarding your product, you don't have to leave the GPHA building and move all the way to the office of Ghana Standards Authority or FDA. You would have the officers right within that same space who are knowledgeable enough to share with you whatever it is that you want to know.
Okay, all right. So I'll be coming back to you as well, Doc.
Yeah.
So let me also find out from you. I mean, let's now delve into the non-traditional export statistics report, and what are some of the highlights in this particular report?
Thank you very much, Solomon. And again, just two things to add to what Chris said. One has to do with the fact that we have presence across the country. Nonetheless, we run zonal offices. However, we collaborate effectively with other trade facilitating institutions. So the Ghana Enterprises Agency, the Ghana Shippers Authority, so especially Ghana Enterprises Agency virtually is across the entire country. They have the business resource centers, which we collaborate effectively. So yes, and again, on the Impact Hub, I can tell on Authority that at the research department, we did an evaluation of the Impact Hub. For about 3 years. So what has happened is that for the initial 1, 2, 3 years, the interest has been very high. It's just human nature that normally with time you will see it dip a bit, but there are efforts, and I'm sure, as he mentioned, to get more people utilize the Impact Hub. Now back to the substantive question. That has to do with the 2023 Annual Non-Traditional Statistics Report. Solomon, if I may just lay a preamble, we need to understand how the report is generated. So our source of data has to do with GRA Customs Division, what we call the ICOMS, the Integrated Customs Management System, which is a single window. I saw some of it, so I was just smiling, and it's managed by the Ghana Link. Now, KTC GRA Customs Division, we have access to this data. So what we do is that at the authority, first, that data is accessed. Now, when that data is accessed, what we do is that the data, there are many, there's a lot of information there, but it's not everything we will need. So what we do is that we filter the information, we clean the data, we sort out the data, we look at for omissions, we look at for wrong placement of products under various harmonized codes, we look out for inconsistency. Stage 1. Now, when that is done, the next stage is to go to the field. Now, we have what we call the GRA Customs Designated Exit Points or borders, who currently are not on the ICON platform. However, export goes through these places. So, for instance, you go to the northern region, you have Tatali. There is an exit point there. You go to Western North, you have Ose, Kujukrum. You go to the Volta region, you have Akano and others. Now, are these exit points? There is still exports going. The understanding is that anything that leaves your country is regarded as export.
Very well.
Now, we have what we call the export return forms. These forms are filled, completed at the point of exit. Now, as they are completed by GRA customs officers. So what we do is that we go to them, then we pick duplicates of these utilized, forms. We bring it into our system, we code this data, we add it to what is already been accessed from the ICONS platform. The next stage is, having done that, we now go to the next stage, which has to do with what we call field data reconciliation. And Solomon, you know that when it comes to data, you would have to be very meticulous so that you ensure that you manage the margin of error. So with the field data reconciliation, what we do is that, so we do targeted companies. So we pick the data, what we have in our database. That is, we've merged what we picked from the exit points and that of the icons. We go to the companies, especially I said a certain category of companies whose values are very high, and we think that if we miss it, their values will have significance as far as the total output of the figure is concerned. And what we do is that, so our team of staff go to these companies. We actually write letters to them. We visit them. So I go to company A. Company A, in our database, based on what we have, we want to analyze the statistics for the year under review. Against a particular product, we had $1 million. Now, help us. We want to look at your books. What do you have? Now, so what might happen is that it's possible that company A might have the same $1 million. There are occasions where they won't have the same million, either a lower figure or a higher figure. So how do we reconcile this? Now we're going to look at relevant documents. from that company. So we look at your bill of lading, we look at your commercial invoice, possibly a bank statement. Now, all these efforts is to ensure the integrity of the data. Reason is because this data is going to be utilized by exporters, by all manner of people who have interest in export and policy. So we ensure that in terms of integrity and our margin of error gets to a certain statistical level where we are comfortable and we are very sure that this data that we are publishing is the right data. Now, so basically, that is how the data is generated. And I can tell you on authority that it gives us, it kind of laid the basis for us to trust that whatever we are putting out there is of value to our exporters. Now, I'm back to the statistics.
Okay, but before you move on to the statistics, I mean, don't you also think that if you would have officials from GPHA at these exit points, it will also enhance your work? Or
very good question. But you know, of course, so it borders on a lot of issues in terms of cost and what have you. But to the last discussion on this particular one, there's already a discussion between the executive management of GPHA and that of GRA, looking at how we could sign an MOU, have it in such a way that it's even electronically transmitted, especially where our officers will not necessarily need to travel all the way to some of the exit points to be able and till we get to the point where all these borders, exit points are rolled on the ICONS platform.
Okay, so let's delve into
so thank you. So for the non-traditional export statistics for the year under review, which is 2023, the total figure, as in your intro, it was officially launched on the 6th of May. The figure is 3,944,146,717. Now, so that is 3,944,146,717. All right. Now, that is against a figure of about 3.53 billion 2022. So you will notice that there's a growth.
A growth, yes.
Now, the growth there is about 11.75%. Unlike the 2022, where we did 6% growth. All right. I know when it comes to figures, it's an interesting discussion to always have. So I'm trying to not to be too figures, but as much as possible. Since that's the focal, the meat of this evening's discussion, we will necessarily have to be mentioning some of these figures.
Okay, and then let me move to Chris now, and then find out from you. So this increment that you recorded, this 11% increment, what accounted for this increment?
So a lot of things have accounted for that increment, particularly some of the programs that we have rolled out and all that. And then also special attention being given to specific sectors and all that. And then we also realized that some of the support that some of these institutions, some of these companies have also received is also helping them to expand. And demand has also gone up. You would agree with me that if there is no demand, then of course businesses wouldn't like to just produce and keep them down. And so once there is demand, you produce more and all that. But let me also quickly say that, you know, there is a target to meet. There's a target to reach. And that target is a 25.3 billion US dollars. And that target stems from the National Export Development Strategy. You see, and this strategy was launched in the year 2020. And it's a 10-year strategy, meaning that by 2029, it has to expire. And by the 2029, we need to have this 25.3 billion USD. Now, as at the time, the 2020, when this document was launched, we had a total NTE of, I think, about 2.8 billion. Now, so if you look at being at 2.8 billion
in 2020,
and we are talking about moving from 2.8 all the way to 25.3 billion. I mean, it's
unrealistic.
It is very, very much realistic.
Really?
But it means we need to work extremely hard.
Okay.
We need to work extremely hard. And so there are several interventions that have been put in place. And my colleague has spoken about some of those interventions. Okay. And this National Export Development Strategy document is hinged on 3 pillars, which basically he has talked about. The capacity building is one key thing, because you cannot grow beyond the knowledge that you possess, you see. And so if you want to grow, you need to have knowledge in that field. And that is the reason why the export school is being taken very seriously now. And so there are a whole lot of things that, we are doing at the Ghana Export Promotion Authority. And that is what has contributed significantly to this 11.75% that was recorded in the year under review. That is the 2023.
But I mean, let's take a look at this figure again. Okay. I mean, we're looking at 25 billion in 2029.
Yes.
And currently in 2024, you are doing 3.9 billion.
Yeah.
And you are telling us, you are giving us the assurance that by 2029, you move from 3.9 billion to 25 billion. Is that what you are telling us?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. And it is very possible. It's very possible. I mean, in the year 2020, we stood at 2.8 billion. And we said to ourselves that by 10 years' time, which is 2029, we want to reach 25.3 billion. What is it that we saw that made us believe that we could reach the 25.3 billion?
Maybe you should tell us. You should tell us.
Yeah, so there are some key things that needs to be done. For example, when it comes to being able to reach that target of 25.3 billion, there is some resources that also needs to be made, needs to be provided to ensure that GPHA is able to, GPHA together with the stakeholders that put this strategic document together, is able to reach that 25.3 billion. So all things being equal, if all the things that we need are provided us, then we should be able to get to that 25.3 billion.
Okay.
And some of those things, like for example, the document will tell you that we need about 2 billion USD to be able to reach the 25.3 billion. So all these things are factors that will contribute to we being able to realize the 25.3 billion. And then we are working closely with the stakeholders. And there are a lot of things that are coming up. Some of these interventions we are talking about, when you start them first year, second year, some of them you may not see anything. Even when it comes to this industrialization agenda we are talking about, sometimes first year, second year, you are now putting documents together, you are setting up factory and all that. So you really get to see the effect of all these things. Maybe after the third year, the fourth year, the fifth year, that is when you begin to see key results. And so, like I told them during the lunch, I said, look, next year, my expectation is that we should be able to hit about 8 billion. And then subsequently, we move at that rate, and we should be able to hit the 24. I'm very much optimistic about it, that we would realize it by the grace of God.
All right. Doc, do you also express that optimism?
Yes, however.
Because from where I sit, I mean, you should be doing every year, you should be doing 150% of the 3.9 billion.
Sure. So there are a number of variables that you will need to take into consideration looking at this target. But what I know is that there will be a review of the document. And I do agree with you that if you look at the current rate at which we are going, it looks a bit unrealistic. So yes, there are a number of interventions in the pipeline that will be looked at. But at the same time, scientifically, there is also the discussion that there will be a review of the document going forward, especially if some of the indicators and some of the variables you looked at before coming out haven't really
changed.
So naturally, there might be the need for a review of the document along the line.
Okay, so let me stay with you. So how has Ghana's 2023 non-traditional exports contributed to the total national exports as compared to the previous years?
Yeah, great. So thank you. So normally we look at total merchandise as against non-traditional exports, and then compare what we have. 3.94 billion, The total merchandise export is 16 billion, reference Bank of Ghana. So if you do simple mathematics, we've contributed 24% to the total merchandise. Just to be quick to also add that, you see, this growth, like he said, has been triggered by a number of factors, especially, again, with the interventions outlined under the National Export Development Strategy, which the authority is vigorously pursuing and implementing, of course, in collaboration with our stakeholders. And when we go into the details and you look at some of the products, then you can scientifically say that this product has been a search based on AYZ, that this triggered the growth or this caused the dip of that particular product. So as we go along, looking at the details of the various products, how the various products perform, and I can advance some of the reasons why there has been a growth of this nature. And there are quite a number of variables that has caused that. We can look at it going forward.
Okay, so let me ask you this question. So someone is asking, it says, over the years, GPHA has made tremendous efforts to promote coconuts in Ghana.
Okay.
And are there any plans to help sustain Ghana's current position as #1 in Africa and help boost value-added products in the coconut value chain?
Yes, they are. So coconut...
So currently, no, for confirmation,
Yeah.
Ghana is currently the first when it comes to coconut export?
Yes.
That's the case?
Yes, that's the case, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the case. So I know coconut and then pineapple were #1 exporter as well in Africa. So with coconut, yes, as an authority, I did even mention that under our supply-based expansion programs, coconut is one of them. So we have the coconut revitalization program, which over the year, what GPHA has done is to kind of provide the seedlings to farmers and also support them with inputs which will help them to be able to produce for the export market. Now, aside that one, there are others. Chris, you know, we've been running the Coconut Festival, which is in the 3rd year running. We have what we call the Coconut Festival, which we run every year, and it's gone actually international. And we do this in collaboration with the Coconut Federation of Ghana, and we also work effectively with FAGE, Federation Association of Ghanaian Exporters, and other related bodies, and now also the Tree Crop Development Authority. So in collaboration with these institutions, we are really looking at ensuring that we sustain the gains made and also to expand. Truth is, I remember we did through Logistica in Berlin, which is a trade fair. Ghana has been participating over the year. KTC GPHA, taking a number of FAGE members there. And I do recall that on one of those occasions, there was, yes, the demand is there. But the challenge with coconut, again, has to do with our ability to meet the orders. That's the truth. Okay. So there is demand for Ghana coconut.
Okay.
All right.
But we are not able to meet
We are
that
not
demand.
able. So, for instance, Solomon, they come to you that, okay, I need a 20-footer container of coconut monthly. Will you be able to deliver? That is a challenge. So yes, we go out there, we do market access programs, we showcase made in Ghana products, we tell people how good our shea butter is, but when there is demand, will our people be able to effectively deliver on record time?
But that should be your risk. I mean, that's why you are there. So you should be able to build their capacity.
So that is why
we be able to, if need be, I mean, finance them to be able to do that.
So that is what we are doing. It's not a one-day matter.
Okay.
That is why I'm just pointing to the fact that necessitates the coconut revitalization program and the rest of the interventions within that particular value chain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. See, just to add to what my colleague said, in my earlier response, you know, I did indicate that there are a number of interventions that GPHA is implementing. And some of those interventions, you don't see the results immediately. And this is one of such.
Okay.
Because when you plant the coconut seedling, within a year or two, you will not see results. It will not give you fruit that you can export. So these are some of the things. And so let's give ourselves, you know, some 5 years, 6 years, and then we would really see the results, from the interventions that we are implementing. And that is when we can realistically tell whether we are getting closer to $25.3 billion or not. And let me also quickly add that during the second International Coconut Festival that was organized here in Ghana, we had the president of the Coconut Federation of Nigeria coming to Ghana. And I was privileged to be in that meeting. And that woman said that in Nigeria, if coconut is not from Ghana, nobody buys it.
So what is special about Ghana,
you see,
Ghana coconut?
The quality and even the taste of the water in the coconut. It is something that is exceptional. And then the woman said that about 80% of the coconut that Nigeria consumes comes from Ghana. So it means that just close by us, we have, countries that need some of these products. Like my brother said, do we have the capacity to be able to meet these demands? And that is the reason why GPHA started this program called the Coconut Revitalization. And through this intervention, we believe that in the next couple of years, we would be able to meet all those demands. And then you will see the export values and, statistics soaring up and up. Thank you.
Okay, so I'll be coming back to you, but now we'll be going for our break. We'll take some break and then come back to read some more messages and then also activate the phone lines. So you're still watching Eye on Port. Tonight we are discussing the 2023 annual non-traditional export statistics report from the Ghana Export Promotion Authority, and this particular report was launched on the 6th of May this year, and we are delving into it to see what's in there, especially how we are faring when it comes to non-traditional exports. And tonight I have in the studios Dr. Martin Akokti, Head of Research at the Ghana Export Promotion Authority, and also Chris Amponsasaki is the Head Public Relations at GPHA. We'll be back after this break.
Guys, now I'm tired. I'll go on a date with whoever gets here first.
Princess, really? Okay, I dey come.
Shut up!
Mame, Boss, fill my tank with Super XP Euro 95.
Well up with Super XP Raw 95 and Diesel XP high performance products from Goyle.
Sorry, Tony got here first, so I'm stepping with him.
Oh, cut him. Hey, go for that.
Choose Super XP Raw 95 and Diesel XP for an energizing driving experience. Always go for Goyle Super XP Raw 95. Goyle, good energy.
Goyle is good energy. Electricity, then pay your taxes. Yeah. Our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, street lights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Talga, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is, you still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
Impressive factory. If only I had listened to you, I wouldn't have been in this mess. That devastating fire virtually wiped out the whole factory and my warehouse.
Remember my misfortunes last year? Serene Insurance Asset All Risk Fire policy that I took were there to pay for my damaged stocks in the warehouse, and my machines that were affected by the floods have been replaced. My accident vehicle is back on the road thanks to Serene Insurance motor policy. My goods are on the IC covered with their marine cargo insurance policy. I was just telling Ajima about Serene Insurance.
Oh, Ajima, tell him more.
As a road contractor, I make sure I do my
contractors all risk insurance for the project, and then workers' compensation for all the workers on site. With Serene Insurance, they will make sure they will cover your unknown tomorrow today.
Serene Insurance, a new face of insurance. Call us now.
MPS Terminal 3 is Africa's new state-of-the-art container terminal at Tema Port. For manufacturers, agro-processors and traders, the new port means business can be done faster. This infrastructure boost will improve Ghana's port handling capacity, connect more trading routes, and oil the engine of growth for the economy, creating greater opportunities across all sectors as Africa's markets merge and become the largest trading bloc globally. MPS, we connect, you thrive.
Business and life can be like the sea sometimes. Sometimes serene, sometimes calm, sometimes turbulent, and at times it brings the unexpected. However it is like, trust Phoenix Insurance for your home, car, business, and marine insurance needs. Call 0302 246 319 or 0243 690 492.
At Phoenix, you experience a delightful service delivered with wisdom.
Are you experiencing heavy bleeding, prolonged menses, bleeding in between your menstrual cycle, or bleeding after sex? Have you been told that you have fibroid? Do you have painful menses or pain during sex? Worry no more. A keyhole surgery can help resolve these health problems.
The International Maritime Hospital, in partnership with its highly skilled UK consultant, gynecologist and Ghanaian team, presents the 2024 annual edition of the Keyhole Gynecological Surgery Consortium or Program. The Keyhole Gynecological Surgery 2024 program is offering eligible clients discounted keyhole surgery to alleviate their symptoms, improve their gynecological outcomes.
Keyhole surgery offers a lesser risk of infection, shorter stay in the hospital, and less carrying on the abdomen. There is less bleeding and less postoperative pain with keyhole surgery. This allows you to get back to your normal life and work more quickly.
Book a discounted screening appointment today to determine your eligibility for keyhole surgery. Call 055-22-222-90 to book your screening appointment and enjoy a 40% discount on the consultation package.
The International Maritime Hospital brings you only the best in healthcare. We are located in Tema, Committee 3, Site A, behind the GNPC flag. Trust me, don't let this opportunity pass you by. Call us now for your discounted screening appointment. This offer runs from now till the end of May 2024. International Maritime Hospital, we serve, we care.
All right, so you're welcome back from the break, and we're still discussing the 2023 non-traditional exports statistics reports launched by the Ghana Export Promotion Authority on May 6th, 2024. And I have in the studios two gentlemen from the Ghana Export Promotion Authority to help in this discussion. In the meantime, we have some messages. This one says, hello, good evening, I am Port. Are there any interventions in the jam and other roots and tubers value chains? Maybe, Doc, you can take that for us.
Rotio is a association responsible.
Okay,
yeah.
So Doc, please hold on there. I would come back to you to answer that particular question. But in the meantime, I need to activate the phone line. So yes, so we can have some callers join us. So the phone lines have been activated now. You can call in and then join the discussions. The numbers to call, we have 0203 0205 528353. The numbers again 0205 528353. You can call and then join the discussion. Already, I understand we have Kwabena on the line. Hello, Kwabena. Good evening, and thank you for calling.
Yeah, good evening. I want to congratulate the Ghana Export Promotion Authority for a good job done.
Okay.
I'm excited that we are growing, although we still have some challenges. I'm thinking that if we can develop the Tamale International Airport into then create something like an export this processing these platforms, so that all the export coming from up north, they will rather use the Tamale International Airport instead of driving them for this number of hours before they bring it to Accra, Alliance, before it gets to wherever it's going. So that if we want to expand the space and they want to increase this production, then I think that if we can fast track the Tamale International Airport to create the export processing these platforms, then I think that it will go a long way. We can even attract people also from the neighboring countries, and all of them will add up to our this non-traditional business export. I think government also will have to put in more. They have to put in more, especially in the area of public-private partnership.
Okay.
I think the Capping and Financial Alignment Act, that is capping IGF, is also this hindrance to that space. So that if that thing can be scrapped, then now public institutions can now use their balance sheets. To now enter into PPP arrangements, and then some of this coconut and other spaces also can be expanded.
All right, Kwabena, thank you very much. Your point is well noted.
Thank you,
Kwabena, for your call. Sorry, we ran out of time. Sorry about that. You heard Kwabena as well. I mean, he's talking about redeveloping some airport to also facilitate the
Tamale Airport. That's a good point. We know that in the north there are a number of products: shea butter, soya bean, sesame, bulgur basket, straw basket, peanuts, groundnut. Though we have difficulties with their aflatoxins levels, and a number of products up there which have export. We are already exporting. Yes, I do agree with him. However, I think that for some of the products, for vegetables, good. Vegetables in that in terms of weight, and you need to keep the freshness level to be able to have the buyers really go for it. So for the airport, the vegetables will be it will serve that purpose, especially if you look at the what's the name? If you look at Tono irrigation, look at that of the Tamale, all the various irrigation, look at. But when it comes to the shea butter and the rest, their weight, okay? Shea butter, if you are doing 40-footer container, it's not cost effective to do air freighting. You would have to necessarily do the ocean or the sea freighting. Okay. So, yes, good point, but I think that we need to just do a blend of the two.
Okay. All right, so let's go on the phone lines again and welcome Dan from Tamale. Hello, good evening, Dan, and thank you for calling. Okay, I understand Dan is off, but we have Joshua. Hello, Joshua, good evening, and thank you for calling.
Yes, good evening. My name is Joshua Lem from Tema. I think I want to commend Iron Port for this. I want to commend Iron Port for this very educative program, and I also want to commend the officials of the GPHA. I think Dr. Martin is making the subject so interesting and easy to follow, and I want to commend him on that. In their presentation, I got the impression that they have a research hub at the GPHA, and then prospective exporters or people who are exporting can come there and do the research. I want to suggest in this era of technology, if they can put it on their website to make it easy for people to access so that they don't have to drive to their premises to have such information. So this is my suggestion. Thank you.
Very well, very well. Thank you very much. I think this has been noted by...
I can quickly touch on
okay.
the last bit that he talked about. There's a call that we have received many times as we go out there to talk about the Ghana Export Promotion Authority.
Okay.
And so we will take it up and see how best we can work together with the IT department, of course, as we are directed by the executive management. And so this will be taken up as it has come to us many times.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, that's fine. So, Doc, there was a question for you that, yes, on yam.
Yeah.
And, so what are you doing for them?
Yeah, great. So, great to you. Ghana Root Crops and Tubers Exporters Union is an umbrella body responsible for that particular product. I must say that, yes, there have been a number of interventions, even though not to the level that we expect. We are still looking forward to building on that. So basically, we've had the opportunity of taking a number of yam exporters on international trips to participate in fairs. We know that there is demand for yam. As a matter of fact, it's on record that our yam is highly sought after. The taste is good. There's high demand for it. It's sad to say, though, that because of the level of chemical residue, at a point in time, the numbers dropped. And that has been, there's been a clarion call by Plant Protection Regulatory Services Directorate of MOFA, PPRSD, and GPHA as well. I remember Ghana Exim Bank and other institutions were looking at how to keep on build the capacity of the farmers so that they are mindful of the level of chemicals they use. I remember some time back I was at Bimbila and it came up and a farmer was very frank with us. He said for them, it's not their fault. The consumer likes yams which are big.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So they will put in the chemicals so that the yam will look big.
All right.
But so for them, they don't have any scientific base as to what levels they use.
Okay.
And we're doing our best to ensure that good agronomic practices are strictly adhered to.
All right.
So yes,
okay.
I think it's a good call and a call in the right direction.
Okay. Let me go on the phone lines again and welcome Dan from Tamale. Hello, Dan. Good evening and thank you for calling.
Hello. Good evening, sir.
Please go on. 30 seconds, Dan.
Yeah, please. First of all, I would like to thank you for this initiative. I mean, I think it's a good program that you are doing to educate the general public. My question is, I want to venture into soya-based, what do you call it, business. And then I'm calling to maybe you can educate us on how to, I mean, you can start it. That's why I'm calling to what do you call it, educate the general public on how to start, I mean, let's say business like that, like a soybean, since I mean, we have a set of soybeans here, so that, you can take it from there.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, Dan. Thank you for the call. This one says, Oima from Tema says, good evening, I on port. GPHA is really doing a good job and I commend them. However, most of our SMEs are struggling to get their products on the international market due to high cost of production, packaging, and logistics in the country. How is GPHA liaising with other stakeholders to ensure the cost of doing business is bearable for the Ghanaian exporter? And she's also asking where she can access the reports. I mean,
okay.
So I think we have 2 minutes. So if you can box
so quick one. So on soya bean, since the report, then Chris will come in. So soya bean, yes, we export soya bean. So all he needs to do, he's in Tamale. He could just visit our office at the Regional Coordinating Council, and then they can guide him for want of time. Okay. In terms of demand for it, there's demand for soya bean, for animal feed, and for the oil. Again, the lady that talks about the SMEs, I'm glad to state that we established the maiden Ghana Trade House in Nairobi, Kenya.
Yeah.
And the essence of the Trade House is to see how best we can showcase made in Ghana products.
Okay.
It will interest you to know that it's about a year now, where it was established in May last year. It's just struck to a year's success. And the good news is that SMEs whose capacity will not necessarily be able to do a 20-footer container, we're able to consolidate their products together, and we ship them to Kenya, put them inside that trade house, and they buy. The trade house concept is just like a China mall. It's a place where you find only made in Ghana products. And Solomon, I'll tell you what, there's high demand for Gary in Kenya.
Right.
There's high demand for shea butter and the rest of it. So our friend who asked the question should just visit us. And also for the report just visit our website. It's online. You can access that. What's the name of the report?
Okay. So 30 seconds, Chris.
Yeah, so
your final words.
Let me quickly touch on the 10 products that did so well in the 2023 statistics that we are looking at now.
Okay.
And the very first one has to do with the iron and the steel, and then the billets as well, which came number one with about 447 million, 801,102 dollars.
Okay.
And so that is just almost about 450 million USD. And then we have the cocoa paste coming second.
Okay.
And then we also had cashew nuts coming third. And then we had cocoa butter coming fourth. And then we had articles of plastics also coming fifth. We also had canned tuna coming sixth, cocoa powder seventh, shea oil coming eighth, the natural rubber sheets coming ninth, and then aluminium plates and sheets also coming the 10th. And the interesting thing is that the country that we exported most to is not US, but Burkina Faso.
Wow.
Burkina Faso.
That's interesting.
And it is something that if we had enough time, we would have talked about. But I'm sure we'll have the opportunity to do so.
Very well.
Yes.
We'll get an opportunity to do so the next time. And let me also give you 20 seconds, Doc, on the outlook. What's the outlook for 2024?
Yeah, great.
20 seconds.
Yeah, so outlook for 2024 looks good. As an institution, we see to promote, execute our mandate. This year we have a number of trade fairs. We have about 15. We've already rolled out. I think it was advertised. People have put in application. So we take a number of exporters to these trade fairs. We're looking at embarking on a number of market research missions to a number of selected countries, and there are a lot installed there.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. So just
thank you very much.
Website, and I'm sure you'll be updated.
All right. So that was Dr. Martin Akogti. He's the head of research at the Ghana Export Promotion Authority, and then also had Chris Ampon-Sasaki. Is the head of public relations at the Ghana Export Promotion Authority. We've been discussing the 2023 annual non-traditional export statistics report that was launched on May 6th this year. My name is Solomon Anderson. Thank you for watching, and also watch the abridged version of Iron Court on Wednesday on Ghana Television at 8:30 p.m. Enjoy the rest of our programs.